Tradeshift and Normative, they have been in conversations, let's say, for a longer time now. Ultimately, I think what is the big, let's say, unique selling proposition for this collaboration is really how can we together help enterprises to more easily connect to their suppliers. It is really about helping companies with a net zero transition to stay competitive, to adhere to regulatory guidelines, and of course also to lower their own risk, to lower entry barriers for both sides to engage, to communicate, and of course the data piece, like how can we more easily, more swiftly, more smoothly integrate primary data or data from the suppliers into the system, like let's say our carbon accounting engine, and then ultimately passing the information on to the large enterprises. So for me, it's all lowering friction and making it easier for all sides to interact, to communicate, and then ultimately to take action upon the measured carbon. But I think where really the added value is that we provide full transparency of your value chain emissions. And that is done by just looking at all of the economic activities that you as a company are kind of having on your balance sheet, so to speak. That's always where we start, pretty much attaching ourselves to your ERP system, looking at what you have bought, what you have sold, attaching a carbon footprint to that. And then we have the baseline because we can make sure we have captured everything you're doing. And then the journey continues by refining data, going more into detail, not just what have I spent money on, but actually what goods and services have I bought, where do they come from, what do my suppliers do? So it's a whole journey. We just brought out from Normative, this value chain guide or value chain engagement guide, where actually we have mapped out the circle of how can large enterprises tackle this, like plan, measure, coordinate, and then how can they also engage their suppliers by communicating properly, by planning properly, by encouraging them, and then following up with them to really enable them, not just pushing, but also really enable them to make a change. And that's what Normative is there for, to help those companies who are responsible for the big chunk of the emissions, to really help them to take not just the first step, but to really go with them all the way towards net zero.